teams who made the playoffs in 2021 who are most likely to miss in 2022.
Who's the first team that came to mind for you?
Do you want me to be honest?
Let's hear it.
The Patriots. I think we can miss the playoffs next year. I mean, we're in a tough division. We're in a tough conference. We already have to face Josh Allen twice a year. And yes, we did beat him. But do you want to know why we beat him? It was negative something degrees and 50-mile-an-hour winds. That's what Belichick can do. That's
we saw
a
he
Belichick
had
game.
one of the greatest passing performances ever against them in the playoffs, and he was great in the second matchup too. So
yeah, we should have won the. Oh, dude, I don't even want to talk about that. We should have won the second game. That was brutal. That game, I remember that. That hurt. So, I'm gonna do. How many do you want to do? A couple from each conference, like one or two, or like however many we can think of.
Yeah.
So, I'm also gonna say Pittsburgh.
Because, I was gonna say you had your team and I had my team listed as well.
Okay, well no, I'll let you say it then.
Well, I mean, it's obvious they were not a great team at all last year. They had
I don't know how you guys made the playoffs. I will never understand that, but
I'll tell you. They had the 6th worst point differential ever for a playoff team. They had minus 59, but that's because they were 8-2-1 in one-score games. So they just had a lot of luck in those clutch games, which
wait. The one that's like the opposite of the Lions. The Lions were in so many. I don't mean to cut you off, but the Lions were in so many close games this year for no reason. Like they had Jared Goff is their quarterback. I that's a thing from somewhere. I forget where, but he was their quarterback, and they just found a way to stay in games. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, that's funny because they both have that 1 at the end of their record because they tied.
Forgot about that.
But yeah, that's why a lot of people were predicting the Lions to be a lot better this year because they were competitive in all those games. And close games tend to regress to the mean. And the Steelers were so lucky in those games last year.
They probably won't be so this year, especially although anyone is an upgrade over 2021 Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep, I was about to say that. I would not be shocked if they made the playoffs because Trubisky, Pickett, even Rudolph, if somehow he played, would be better than Ben.
No.
But
no, I don't think Rudolph will be better than Ben last year.
I don't think he's going to make the team.
Cannot believe that. Yeah.
But, yeah, Mike Tomlin just has a way. They're probably going to be 9-8, something like that. I think they'll probably miss the playoffs. I would not be shocked if they made it, but they would not be a team I would be betting on. Yeah.
For the Patriots, I'll give my reasons. We regressed our roster so much. JC's gone. That's really like, Shaq Mason's gone. That might not seem like a lot, because that's really the only, like, Dante Hightower retired, but he really wasn't that good last year.
Jamie Collins.
Again, he wasn't that good last year. But, like, we have 2 meaningful pieces. One of the top, maybe 5 corners in the league-ish. Depends how you look at it, because he was like a turnover machine. He was Mr. INT. And then Shaq Mason, a great guard. Those 2 are very valuable pieces. While we did draft Cole Strange, as well as 2 corners, that does help. But our wide receiver room is also, it's like the definition of 16th ranked. Like, you got some solid pieces, but you don't have a single star. You have one guy who could go over 1,000 potentially. Our tight ends are great. I mean, we just didn't know how to use Jonnu Smith for some ungodly reason. That pissed me off. And then our defense just is not great. We have an old Devin McCourty. Our number 1 corner is Jonathan Jones, who's not by no means a bad corner, but he was out for a lot of last season. And he's always been a the third starting quarterback. So having to see him against number 1s, I'm going to be afraid. Very. We still have, like, our linebacker group really isn't that great. I really don't like what I'm seeing from the Patriots for this next season. Oh, I mean, we did get Malcolm Butler, sure. I honestly forgot we did that, but... Oh, my God, I'm being
Devontae
stupid.
Parker.
Who was the... that's the one guy I was saying that could go over 1,000. I'm trying to think of the one guy... The one corner who Gabriel Davis cooked.
I feel like you've mentioned him multiple times.
I have multiple times because this man sucks absolute balls at football.
I can't think of his name.
You know what? Talk. I'll find them.
It's funny we both picked AFC teams, which I think is fitting.
Well, I was going to say an NFC team as well, but.
Well, yeah, but the first ones were AFC teams.
And both
because
are teams.
We've seen how much AFC teams are loading up this offseason with everybody in the AFC West looking like they could make the playoffs. The Colts added Matt Ryan. The Titans are still there. The Bengals, the Ravens should improve. The Bills, the Dolphins improved. Everybody in the AFC, it's an arms race.
Division.
And if you didn't do much, like the Patriots, or if you already were not good, like the Steelers, you're falling behind.
Yeah. I mean, we have to go, at least in my division, we have to go, not my division, I don't play football, you know what I mean. We have to go against the Dolphins twice a year, the Bills twice a year. Hell, even the Jets are finally competitive. And I don't like that at all.
And the Steelers, I think the Ravens, I don't want to get much into them because they may be on my other list.
No, it was Isaiah McKenzie who torched us. Sorry, I'm sorry.
I was just trying to fill dead air while you were researching, so if
go
interrupt,
ahead. All right, I'm looking. Keep talking.
This is very important information, folks.
No, because this is going to bother me if I don't figure it out. Is it Adrian Phillips? No, it's not. Adrian Phillips is actually solid for us. All right, okay, it's number 41. I remember that. Number 41, Patriots, 2021. Miles Bryant, that guy, I wouldn't care if that man never played in the NFL again. He was so terrible. Anyways, let me give you my NFC team. Screw Gabriel Davis for that. This is gonna surprise people, maybe. For the team that won't make it, I'm gonna go with the Arizona Cardinals.
Whoa, big shocker. That was the team that instantly came to mind for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking maybe you could think of the 49ers because maybe Trey Lance might not be great in his rookie season if he starts, Right. Obviously it's not his rookie year, but it's, you know what I mean? It's like the Mahomes thing. Maybe you could think the Eagles because Jalen Hurts, depends what you think about him. Maybe, low-key, you might be able to say the Cowboys because the Eagles are definitely better than them. NFC East in itself, it's between those two teams. Obviously, I think one of them might miss it. Whoever doesn't win the division has a chance of missing the playoffs, in my opinion. But some people might think it's a lock for both of them to make it. I don't know. The Cowboys got worse. Eagles got better. But still. But I picked the Cardinals because Kyler and Russell Wilson are the same player. They'll be MVP levels for the first 8 games. Second half of the season, good, not great. First 8 games, I thought Kyler was a top 4 quarterback in the league at the moment. I thought he was going to win MVP. But, how it ended, he did get hurt and, played through it. But, yeah. And then D-Hop suspended for, 8 or 6 games? I can't recall.
I think it was 6.
Yeah. And then they also lost Chandler Jones. That's a big, big loss. I don't really like how their defense looks. If you want to be honest, I couldn't name a single cornerback on that roster.
They, even going into last year, I thought they had one of the worst cornerback rooms in the NFL. Somehow they played above their talent for at least most of the season, then it kind of got exposed at the end. They didn't do much to improve this year, so I would not be shocked if, especially with...
No, seriously, I don't know a single corner on that team, do you? I know Budda Baker.
I do, I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I'm actually going to look it up, but yeah.
But,
Are you looking it up too?
Yeah.
Because, dude, seriously.
It's I know, I can picture it. Yeah. I could
Yep.
picture him in my mind. I could not think of his name.
What, number 7, right? Yeah, number 7. Yep. Okay, I do know Byron Murphy, but point proven. He's decent, but he's not Anyways, do you have another team or?
Well, I was gonna say about the Cardinals.
Oh, sorry.
We all know about how they falter at end of seasons. Even Kingsbury himself, they lost 5 of their last 6 last year, and in that playoff game against the Rams. Yeah, that playoff game against the Rams was one of the worst playoff performances ever, and that's telling.
Not
especially,
that we're ones to talk. But
I was gonna say it's telling considering how many teams completely wet the bed in the wild card round last year. Both of our teams, the Eagles, also were terrible, and the Cardinals, as you mentioned, they lost Chandler Jones. They also lost a lot of other starters, maybe not stars, but Chase Edmonds, Jordan Hicks, Christian Kirk, Jordan Phillips, Max Garcia, and they didn't really add anybody in free agency. They re-signed a couple guys like AJ Green, Zach Ertz.
I'll give Marquise Brown the edge over Christian Kirk. That's kind of why I didn't really say anything about it. But they did use a first-round pick on him.
Yeah,
Chase Edmonds.
I mean, even without Kirk
but...
or Hopkins, I don't know how we want to weigh that.
Hey. I don't really think the Cardinals cared because I think they have a lot of faith in Rondell Moore, and I do too.
I just hope that they use him in more ways as an actual wide receiver next year. He was impressive over the first half of the season with all these long plays, and then he kind of disappeared. I was also not super impressed with their draft. The guys they got at least likely won't contribute much in 2022. Their first pick was 55th overall, and it was another tight end in Trey McBride.
He's good
develop, but they just re-signed Zach Ertz and Max Williams, who will probably, he probably won't see the field for a bit. And then they had a couple of complimentary edge defenders that they hope can replace Chandler Jones, but even if they do grow into that, it won't be immediate. So, I don't want to say it, but I might be shocked if they do make the playoffs this year, honestly.
And what?
No, I didn't say
that. Honestly, the Cardinals. I when they went 7-0, I was like, they're good, but I don't think they're gonna finish number one in the conference because obviously at the time they were on pace for that. But the second that Packers game happened, I was like, yeah, this doesn't look like it's gonna,
That was when Rodgers didn't have a single.
That's my point. Like the fact that they lost that game, I was like, yeah, this team is not a 7-0 team.